Hello. I thought I'd do a Sunday reads. Probably for like a lot of people, my weekend does not start on Friday. My weekend starts on, well, Friday or Saturday. I guess it would start on Saturday, and then this is Sunday is sort of my Saturday. So maybe it's a Saturday reads, but it's on a Sunday. Whatever. I'm just figured I'd just do a little chat about what I've been reading, what I am reading at the moment, and maybe some plans for the future, and maybe just a little chat about some hot topics on BookTube. Not really, not just one topic that's probably cooling off at this point, but I figured I'll weigh in with a couple of two centers on that. Um, I'm going to be super casual. I'm not going to be holding up a lot of books. I have one book here. That's more than enough for me of what I'm going to hold up. A lot of my books are either on ebook or on audiobook, so yeah, we don't need that. What have I been reading? Let's start off with my Quixote corner, where I've talked about that I read Trent LeBlanc, which is a chivalric romance, and I finished that off with another chivalric romance, Amadeus of Gaul, which actually I only read book one of. Amadeus of Gaul, published in 1508 by Garcia Rodriguez Montalvo. Everyone's very excited about that. I read the first book, translated in a 1872 translation by English romantic poet Robert Southey. It was a tough read, but definitely got me more into that kind of the chivalry, all the chivalry that was being kind of bounced off of in Don Quixote. A lot less problematic than Trent LeBlanc. Trent LeBlanc is one that I think I most definitely will do a review of, because there was some stuff in there that seemed really messed up to my eyes. So modern reader, but also really engaged. Actually, that translation is really engaging, whereas this one, an 1872 translation, was very creaky, really kind of hard to just wrap my mouth around as I was reading it. So yeah, I read that. Another thing in Quixote Corner was that on the suggestion of a fellow booktuber who I can only remember Juan Garcia. What's his name? I can't even remember the name of the booktube. I'll put it down below. But he suggested that I read Jorge's story, Pierre Menard, author of Don Quixote, a 1941 short story by Borges, which is one of those mind bender ones. It's a French academic who embarks on reproducing line by line the text of Don Quixote, and he manages indeed to replicate a couple of chapters of this. This is it's a short story that's written in kind of the form of a review, where it's like, oh, here are his other works, having scholarly squabbles with other people saying, oh, they made up all this other stuff, and some Catholic Protestant kind of back and forthing there as well, but that Menard decided to replicate it, and not replicate it by just simply copying it out, by getting himself sort of in the mindset of the thing, and just being kind of hilarious in a saying like, well, the original Don Quixote, it's not really surprising that an author born in this time would write this, but that Pierre Menard would actually write this. It's like, wow, how much depth and how much thing, and it's a funny. It actually is a kind of a funny story, and it's also a story that is kind of gets to the idea of kind of authorship of, like, how someone can write a work in one period and it can have this kind of significance, but if it's written in another one, it can have a completely different context to it, but it's still the same text. In this case, it's this exact same text. It was definitely a fun book, probably a book that I only skimmed the surface of. It's one of those ones that you probably now need to read all the other, the fan theories and all the how much English professors have spilled ink over this story. But yeah, that was a fun thing. Thank you, Juan, for that. and then I got out of Don Quixote, and I listened to Remote Control by Nnedi Okorafor, which is a novella, Afrofuturism, I think is what it would be referred to as, of a young girl in Ghana. A meteor comes down. She's given these kind of powers of life and death, and what ensues. With Nnedi Okorafor, her preferred form does seem to be these little. I'm getting criticism from the peanut gallery here. Seems. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay. There, not criticism, but impatience. Uh, is her preferred form is the novella, and that seems to be how she puts out stories. She's done like the Binti series and the Akata Witch series, all of which are written and kind of released as little, I guess are supposedly standalone novellas, but they all kind of form together to make one work. I find her a slightly frustrating author in the sense of sometimes I just wish, could you just write this as one full novel? And I mean, that's her decision. That's how she wants to construct these things. She gets to kind of skip over things which maybe she doesn't find as interesting as maybe someone like myself, who's a bit more of a conventional story reader, would expect or kind of want in stories. Sometimes I kind of find her frustrating that way. She's a really good, really interesting author. There's lots of just the things of how young women, young girls are treated in this kind of futurist Ghana society. There's and there's the stuff about technology. There's a evil pharmaceutical company who's lurking around lurking around the margins in a way that you can tell is like, well, this will come in, this will be interesting thing perhaps in a future novella in this series. I know that she takes a long time between them, so it's not like one of these things I'm holding my breath that she's going to be pumping out another one. She's not what you would call, I guess, is what's called a commercial writer. You have to wait. You wait for her. You definitely wait for her when it comes to stories like that. So, yeah, I really good, but I also know my frustrations with her, and that's probably more to do with my own limitations than that. And I got this as a library loan because I think the hardcover of the novella is like $25. It's a full credit on Audible, where you could also get a full credit of a gigantic tome at the same time. Even though this quality wise, you'd probably be better off getting the one credit of 4 hours of Nnedi Okorafor than hours and hours of somebody else. Yeah, and so what am I reading currently? At the moment, I'm reading currently. Here, do the extreme zoom in for my thing. I'm reading The Black Company, the first novel in this fantasy, kind of gritty. It's kind of old school, gritty fantasy. It really gives me a sense of kind of the old Conan stories in a way. There's certain kind of a dark density to them, but there's no Conan figure. This is much more a military group. This is mercs, soldiers it's an ancient mercenary group, the Black Company. They've been around for 400 years. At least here in the first novel, it's all told through the voice of Croker, who is the kind of the surgeon doctor of the unit, but is also the historian of the Black Company, and he knows like what's happened in this group. And there's wizards, there's were-leopards, there is a dark lady, an empire and thing. There's probably hovering around the edges, like a lot of high fantasy stuff, but this is all kind of stuff told from very much the grunt level, which is, I think grunt level is what makes stuff makes it Conan sword and sorcery versus high fantasy, because these are guys who are just like, we're either bored or we're bitching at each other. It really does have that kind of. I think the big appeal of this is it does have that sense of soldiers, of like actual human beings, and their foibles, their failings. and that kind of there's a that kind of really kind of makes it feel really really grounded. And just also you kind of get the sense of like, we're in a foreign place where we don't know stuff, we're blundering around, we're killing people, we're committing atrocities. Like these aren't, I mean, that's a part of the thing that makes it the kind of the dark and gritty. It's like, it's war, people are murdering each other. You may dress it up as this is as war, but this is not dressing it up. This is from a soldier's point of view of, no, I killed that guy, not a, these are two clashing civilizations. It's like, no, that kind of level. And then, yes, finally I am reading, I'm reading on my booktube spin thing, which is Rick McDonald's idea, brainchild, genius idea of, he spins a wheel, lands on a number, you pick 20 books of that number, and whatever it lands on is what you pick. And mine was Stoner, which I am, I think I'm like, I'm almost at the end. I'm like chapter 15 or whatever, and I'm loving it, which is awesome, because the reason I picked this book up was because of Rick McDonald's ooh, drama below. Rick McDonald's review of this dogs age ago. A ball is being guarded from evil interloper who, we've seen odd times in this channel before. He was introduced. Now he's just a grubby inmate here. Yeah, who wants down because he's interested in getting back to menacing the ball. But yeah, I am really, 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 really loving Stoner. It is it's a beautifully melancholy book. Stoner, a English instructor at a university. It's basically kind of going from him being kind of a very poor farm boy who went to the college to learn agriculture, but got bitten by the bug of literature, and unlike the rest of us gonna have fries with that, actually stayed on to become instructor, and his incredibly fraught stymieing both personal life with his wife Edith and their daughter Grace, his unfortunate the politics of this college. It's a beautiful book, and shot through with William Stoner's just love of literature, which has got to be something that kind of that gets it to your heart. But it's also just quite amazing at kind of navigating a lot of stuff that I would have thought was route. He has an affair with a younger woman here, but it's handled in such a way that I wasn't rolling my eyes. In some ways it was after I read it and I was like swept up in it. I was like, oh, wow, why did I get swept up in that? That is like the worst thing. It's like, it's an English professor sleeping with, a younger, she's getting her dissertation. She's not a direct student of his, but like that kind of thing. You would think that would be just the worst, most self-indulgent thing to put in a book, but it's actually quite beautiful. And I was just blown away by it. So yeah, that is what I'm reading. Thank you, Rick. I will report back when I've completed Stoner. I figured I just can't help myself. I figured I'd put in my 2 cents on the whole thing of the numbers game, which was an amazing, great video done by Claudia over at the Spinsters Library, and has had many replies to it by Steve Donahue, Kelly at Books I'm Not Reading, Brian at Bookish. A lot of the people I enjoy talking about this subject. And I figured, yeah, what the heck, I would put my sense in. I think as far as numbers go, I probably lean more into the Steve Donahue camp without the talent. or their sheer charisma, um, which is the cautionary thing of I don't do a lot of editing. I've tried, but I just don't do a lot of editing on my things. I have a tendency to put a lot of text up for correcting all of my many mistakes, but that's about as far as I go. As far as chopping every golden word, oh, how could I do that to you guys? I don't. Um, but yeah, Claudia was talking about how people, how BookTube, YouTube, does do the thing with the creators of they want you to make more views for them. They want you to kind of grind out and make them more money by making videos that get more views and stuff like that. And there definitely is that kind of thing you can see with the portal that comes behind the scenes in the YouTube studio thing of they rate your videos and stuff like that. I have to say I'm more on the side of when I bookmark YouTube Studio, I bookmark it just to uploading videos, and I just upload those videos, and I'm pretty resolute in not looking at the numbers because it doesn't really make any difference to me. I've long ago abandoned the fact that I'm not going to be a YouTube millionaire. That I am simply doing this for my own amusement, and I pretty resolutely couldn't if I started letting numbers and stuff like that influence what videos I made. Uh, that would just destroy the experience for me. I did a whole big series on Anthony Trollope novels. Actually, probably following Steve and a lot of read-alongs of Anthony Trollope novels, and I did that because I loved Anthony Trollope. And yeah, I can understand why that's not something that a lot of people were interested in watching, but I didn't care because that's what I was reading and that's what I wanted to talk about. Um, so and I'm comfortable in the fact that there are a ton of channels out there with a ton of stuff that people probably are interested in. So if I veer off this way and do something that's of a limited interest, that's not going to hurt anybody. Yes, I'm not going to get the views, but I don't care. I don't care about views. I don't care about subscribers. um, you it's nice when people watch your videos. That's all cool. You hope you can kind of I can bring my excitement to other people, but um, it's not why I do videos. I think I've accepted and embraced the fact that I am a hobbyist. I am somebody who's making these videos for my own entertainment, my own edification, um, my own joy, my own neuroses, my own working out crap, and yeah, I don't expect that that's going to net me millions of views a day, for stuff. But that's not really the purpose of why I do BookTube. Um, you know, it's it's been nice making connections with people. Um, Sometimes I don't know if that's actually the reason why I do this either. I'm not quite sure. Um, a part of this is just trying to talk things out and think things out. I definitely am guilty of being one of these people who doesn't sit alone in a room quietly think to figure out stuff. I'm one of these people that has to talk it out. That's how if my lips aren't moving, my brain probably isn't operating, which makes something like talking into a camera really good for me because then I can discover things. And if there's anything that I do bring, it's when I do these long ass videos and you can see me suddenly go, oh, that's it, and figure something out. That is probably where I that's the kind of spark that I hope that if people watch my videos, they see. It's like, oh, he finally figured it out. We could have told him that at the beginning of the video, but would he listen? No, I would not listen. I have to work these things out on my own, no matter how slow, no matter how long it takes me, no matter how painfully. You're just going to have to wait to the end of the video for me to go, oh. So I guess that's my very anti-numbers reply to it's a numbers game. It's not my like, and this is the thing of like I really love Claudia's videos because wow, she always brings up such awesome subjects, and gets everybody talking and gets everybody thinking, and it's one of those things where we all get to kind of like then plant our flag and say this is what I feel. And wow, thanks to Claudia at Spinster's Library, which you should all go and check out her videos because her videos are done in a way that are entertaining and interesting to a wide branch of people. And if you're watching this for some unforsaken reason, but you don't know about Claudia, go check out Claudia. She's the one that you want to be with at Spinster's Library. All right. That ends my Sunday reads. Super cash. The dogs are all over there bothering each other. Well, actually, Theo, little black and white Theo, is wearing our poor doodle down. So spare a thought for the doodle. All right, I will leave it there. More videos later. Oh, here, big sister, how are you doing? Oh, big sister's like, help me, John, help me, Jay, whatever your name is. Oh. Okay. More videos later.